Hi everyone, Tom back here, trying streaming in a different place today in Japan, and gonna be continuing on the road completion. I don't know, the internet might cut out a couple times because it's just a portable Wi-Fi router, and there is a 10 gigabyte a day limit. I'll see what happens. My laptop might not be able to keep up with all this too, so I'll just try though, and probably continuing on this gate. Maybe the manhole a bit so things like this car can be dragged over it. And there's a couple plugs to put here. One neat thing about this update is just the other day, this is kind of news that's good for you, is that Valve has redone Steam demos. So you can have your own page for them, and I might update the Carpoon demo to reflect this. And something that I had trouble with while making Carpoon is that to have the demo, I had to create another account because I already had Carpoon installed, and you can't really install a demo when you have the full game. So that'll be easier for anyone developing a game. And yeah, I can tailor the store page, a different store page specifically for the demo, and it shouldn't affect how it works for your game, like based on how the demo does. I think demos, yeah, they say demos can also appear in new and trending. So that article, I'll just see if I can paste it in chat for everybody. But if you're watching it later, so oh yeah, you can also notify wish listers about when you have a demo. Kind of neat little things, and I believe you can, if it's in Next Fest, you can change, say when the demo is going live differently. So, because yeah, the Carpoon demo is a lot different than here in this update than the other one. I believe the Carpoon demo has one level of this and one level and mode from Volcarnage Island. So, BitSummit last week though, it was really neat to see tons of indie demos. That's why I didn't stream last week. And kind of really compact, but really nice experience. The only thing to do, the only trick was to beat the heat on the way there walking. Once inside, it was nice and air conditioned. It wasn't too bad. It's one funny bug here is that I think I got rid of it, but if the statue was, let's say here, there would be a detection bug where it's like, oh, I can't find the object above it, and the game would crash, which I found going near the fence. So let's just take a quick look, see where that. Good evening there, Oscar. So there's going to be the esports video games event next year. That's interesting. I wonder. Yeah, I guess they have to keep trying new things, and it is video games. Like the team ones are basically a sport, so it's just intriguing that they're going to try it. I don't know if it's that to keep more of an audience, but you know, it's a team. There's a coach. I'm only a bit sad because when you get things like in Richmond, there's a race walking event, and well, there's a race walker who used to have a 50-kilometer event, and when you see events like that, also get canceled. But you can't have everything. Olympics are already so huge, and it's neat that they're going forward that sort of opportunity. And Oscar, let me know if I seem super choppy or anything. I'm curious. I guess I can look back later, but this is just from my laptop in Japan right now, so It's not from my home PC tower. How are you doing, Oscar? Are you enjoying the NES World Championship edition? That's something I have to pick up now that BitSummit is over. Due to the celebration of Paris 2024 Olympics, you played. Oh, sorry, this volume's super loud. There we go. I want to turn it down. You played Mario and Sonic at the Tokyo 2020 Olympic Games. That's neat. And yeah, I'm in Japan right now. It's hotter here, so it's been good encouragement to go running every day. Konnichiwa, yes. Or it's still kind of morning, like you could say Ohio, Ohio gozaimasu. Now, as I remember about the Olympics, when they were testing events before, they had a Just Dance. But then something happened with the how they were capturing it, so it just became mostly for style and nothing about the game points to. So that was different than what I expected. I expected more things like Dota or any kind of team-based sport. I guess dance makes sense. They have, it's like a gymnastics event almost. With that sewer grate, I'm tempted to add more frames almost, but that's something I can do at a different time. Yeah, so did you see some Japanese Nintendo games or other publishers? Well, at BitSummit, there are a lot of different ones, although there are many games from the West too. Probably because many developers want to head over to Japan, and but I see some from Asia in the area that you wouldn't normally see. Some of them though, like Nintendo had a booth, and they mostly seemed like games that we kind of already knew about. Yeah, Dragon Quest. That they had a new theme park on TV for Dragon Quest, or like not a theme park, but kind of a park area, almost like a big town for it. Whoa, what happened here? And but some of the games at BitSummit were for Switch, but others were for PC and Steam too. I guess they're maybe tackling the worldwide market, and maybe Steam is picking up a bit in Japan. That's still a bit off, but here we got this might. I think I got rid of the collision event for it to crash, and it looks like I got rid of the Steam. Oh no, there's still Steam effect. No, still a crash. So this is the bug I want to fix. Yes, you see Naruto, Dragon Ball, and some mainly Japanese anime. Yeah, well, BitSummit's more for indie developers. Those things definitely all popular here. I haven't been into the city much so far. I've mostly I've gone out in the morning briefly, and then it's super hot, so then I stay inside. But I do want to go to the Nintendo store at one point and get those new Gashapon controller keychains. May try replacing a piece in the controller with it. Okay, but let's see if we can fix this little fence bug and how much I can do here. I'll check too quickly how much bandwidth I've used already. I've used 1.2 gigabytes so far. It's 900 for this, so maybe this be a shorter one. I'll see how it goes. Normally I have the YouTube window open, but I tried closing it right now just for one less thing to be using that bandwidth all the time. No need to see myself. I was watching Jonas Tyroller do a live stream, and they made Willie Snail and Thronefall with another developer. They're doing a dev stream, and they're saying there's pros and cons to each. So maybe for them, probably they can focus a lot better than I can normally without a live stream. They would say like, it's the drawbacks compared to a normal streamer there. So let's see, I think I have another window open already. Nope. Sometimes you can have like the multiple desktops going. Now this is what gets tricky here is I've created there's a parent object that it uses, and there's also an object it creates below it. So there's kind of three objects I'm dealing with. So I'll just have to find which one's causing the crash. And which one is causing the steam to appear? That's not needed. I might just have to make this another object. Like, it doesn't have to break. I kind of wanted it just so it grabs in a certain spot. That's the main reason. Because some objects, they go to the center. Like they'd go here. But that's not necessarily something I want. Poor connection warning in YouTube. Oh well. So I'm tempted, I could just make this false and maybe that fixes some of the problem. Do I? Maybe I don't need this. Yeah, maybe I got one too many things. Maybe I don't need it. I'll try moving it. See what happens. Make it simpler for myself to visualize. Oh. Can I put this in a place that I say I'll leave it here? I'll see if that breaks it or not. Today, I think the weather is not so bad. Tomorrow, it's going to be like the hottest yet at 39 degrees. I don't look forward to that. So Nintendo announced the Grand Festival, the final Splatfest of Splatoon 3. It's so weird they're already getting to the final Splatfest. It's like they're working on a Splatoon for Switch 2, but past versus present versus future. Oh, so it's also weird they announced it so early. Like that's September they're announcing it, and it's July. It's not even August. That's weird. I know they announced it like a few weeks in advance, so that feels even earlier. Maybe build up more hype for it. Get any negative sentiment out of the way early. I'll go future on that one. Even though the past might be for all I know, the best part of my life, I'll go future. Which one are you going to go with, Oscar? I do have to play some more Salmon Run with my friends. So you can kind of see the invisible wall I just put here. And yeah, whoa. I got a black screen even though I can still see it. Yeah, that still works. I can probably just leave it. I don't like the feel as much though. There's a bump here. Where it might have to, yeah, I have to move that in. Because that's no good to be stuck on it like that. Oh, so there's a food Splatfest in between then? It's been a bit harder to keep up with news while I was working on those videos and traveling a lot with the conference. I heard things like Humble Bundle Publishing ended, which is too bad. Of course, David Soliani leaving Ubisoft. Maybe they'll create their own studio. Okay, it's in August, so that makes more sense. I'm just kind of saying, well, these last two ones, you should really try and get out, go into them. Oh, looks like Gray Stripe has almost finished their UFO game, which is nice. I was just going to post in the Discord, which might ruin the internet, that I am doing a stream right now. Let's move this out of the way so it's easier to test. Now, in the Food Splatfest, is there pizza as an option? Like, I just assume they put pizza there. Okay, so you beat World Championships. That's great. I expect you to go for new high scores, and you pre-ordered Enemy of the Smiling Man. I'm wondering, will I get that one? I missed. I don't think I played the. I didn't play the new remix of the Famicom Detective Clubs. Um, I guess I'll see how many games are out then. I still have to catch up on the new Splatoon DLC from earlier in the year. But I beat and reviewed a Ranger earlier in the week. A Ranger, a role puzzling adventure, is quite good, quite unique. I recommend it. Well, yeah, Oscar, say they know how to play it, but many of that audience are really old now. Like, I don't think kids would have been playing those back in the day. So now you've got even older players that might have left games. So they do, I think, for Famicom Detective Club, they do have to kind of get a new audience for them at this point. That's my guess. I was talking to somebody about that. It's like some know, but most, I think, would have to have heard about it or be a new player, new to the series. Yeah, the Western players are new, and I think the Japanese players, there just wouldn't be that many of them around who had played it. That's my guess. Uh, I want to look up the pillar just as a reference. Oh, I see my laptop being super slow to load things. And this hopefully sheds a bit of light on how things are working. Oh yeah, the first three Starfreeze are out. I have, I think, a couple of them. They were only about 300 yen, kind of at the Kind of like in an area like where you would buy gum in a convenience store, leaving some game shop. So the 300 yen would be like $3. Maybe they're more now, but that series didn't get a lot of love back then. It's nice to see them come out even untranslated. You can still play them. I mean, you don't you don't need that for this. You don't need the translation to be able to enjoy it. Starfy's a pretty cute character. Let me double check the developer of Starfy again. Toast. Okay, yeah. Toast is that company that co-develops games and doesn't get a lot of credit. Okay, this generates steam from Pillar. Somewhere, this is where it's doing it. Now, where on the fence does it tie into that? And I have to stop it. So that is step event, O solid pillar, grab base. Toast got credited on the Square Enix Dragon Quest spin-off games. Well, that's good. Like, they do a lot of heavy lifting, I'm sure. I guess sometimes that's just part of the contract. It's like, oh, you can do this, but you don't get credit. Me just writing my typical notes just to keep track of where everything is. It gets a bit hard to remember everything when you got like 2 objects and inheritance. I was thinking here of walking to Super Potato, but then I remembered I would walk to the Ikebukuro Super Potato from another place. Not the Akihabara one. The Akihabara one is actually closer right now, but it's better to go to Book Off or really just order. The actual stores kind of have like a price premium to them to buy used games here. All I need really is the GameCube LAN adapter for Mario Kart Double Dash. I think if I just got that, I could be satisfied. I already have one, so I need one more, and I can see if the Japanese version of Double Dash works with the North American version. Okay, so let's grab which one? So this is O solid fence grab base, okay. So it's not, and that's inheriting something. So it's unrelated there to get that steam gone. I'll be back in a second. I'll just grab some more coffee. Something neat at BitSummit is there's a meetup by the river and a bridge every day, and I lucked out with the hotel I chose just because it seemed like only about a 20-minute walk to the event and near a train, only 200 meters from a train. And it turned out this river meetup that my friend told me about, it's only like 170 meters away. So that was neat to try. I didn't stay too late though on the one day I went because I was super jet lagged and waking up at 5 a.m. in the morning or earlier. Okay, so I've never heard of Marvelous. No, wait, I think you told me about Marvelous Another Treasure Island. I can look for that while I'm in Japan and maybe pick it up. I'm sure there's probably translated ones, but no, thank you, Oscar. I'll write a note. That'd be like Getting Aladdin by Shinji Mikami, but maybe a little better. So thank you. Yes, that's one more game I can look for. I definitely do not have that game. Part of the problem is that I don't have like a list written down of all the games I bought, so it's like it's kind of hard to keep track. Have you ever played that one? So I'm gonna guess here where this is inherited. So, oh, security wall. I'm just trying to. So that step event is inherited. What is O security wall? If I can, I'll add it to my favorites. So that'll be a bit easier. When loading one of these always onto a new computer, it erases all the favorites, which doesn't make a lot of sense to me. That should be saved with the project in GameMaker. Yeah, I'll submit a request. So that does get O pillar So probably I can just copy the code and not worry about it and not inherit. That sounds like the easy solution. So you played the fan translation of the game in the SNES emulator. Yeah, that makes sense. That's probably what I would have to do to fully enjoy it. Trying to learn more Japanese recently, but reading is harder than speaking. For me, at least. I do remember more characters now than I used to, but still a lot of work to do. What the? This doesn't do much. I'm wondering where it where it's inheriting everything. I also commented out Steam creation there. That's where it gets kind of baffling. Okay, so I am inheriting, so yeah, that gets a little confusing. And I'll show you a neat update I did the other day. I'm hoping this trip I have more time to work in Carpoon. I think last time I was in Japan, I had a new client for a bit, and that there was like many long days working on that one to finish it. And then, of course, that being super rushed, you get the typical client uh, being very slow to pay me after, but at least it wasn't too bad. Just had to send a reminder. So here's what I did. I added a little effect because all you have to do is put on one. I'd only do one flag, and whoop, there's now grappling around the start button. I should maybe make it slower when you're grappling. So I feel so the Famicom Nintendo Switch Online got a Famicom Disk System, a text adventure game called Shin Onigashima. Some of the characters appeared as spirits in Smash Ultimate. The Famicom Disk System is one I'd like to get at some point, but my friend warned me that there's a lot of maintenance in it, and with that belt, and it also runs slowly and isn't the best. So I do consider it, but it does sound like a lot of work compared to just trying to keep up with current games or playing some of the old ones I have just on cartridge. I asked about the 64DD if that's something that needs maintenance, and they don't know. Maybe they'll find out later. Let's see how this collision detection's working. Only a little bump. Why is there this? So this is weird. There's like, I think one thing moved, and it's not quite showing. So I'll have to fix that because part of it was just being smooth around the corners. Yeah. What about the Satellaviews? See, that's like a missed piece of Nintendo history, in a way. Something like that. I guess, kind of with online games now, it's kind of similar. Like Mario 35. I mean, Tetris 99, that's going to be gone one day. And it's just a more well-known piece of history, but yeah, they'll be gone too. Okay, make sure no. There's still steam. I'm annoyed. Is there one object in there I'm not seeing? I might just have. Oh, and it's got a. Something happened there. It's got a overlapping issue. Maybe that was from me testing with the with physics on. This fence is. I'm tempted just to make this fence nothing. It might be easier because it's not moving. I can make it two pieces. It could just be a wall. Like what happens here? Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe if it was just a special O solid that had pieces come out of it when you hit it, that might be the best way to go. Yeah, F-099 is still alive, but for how long, Oscar? For how long? I don't know how in Carpoon it happened where if you touch it a bit lightly, like it keeps going. Like if I touch lightly, it'll kind of go through, but if it's a hard press, it won't. I think there's health, and that's a sprite that's appearing below it. So there was a dumpster that might go here. I think there's another fence there, another fence here to add. I have to turn off visibility because you see all the little. I see the white lines from the collision detection underneath them. That should be off. Okay. Let's try more something better and see if this a towable object like that or the hot dog cart can be dragged over that manhole. So it checks O vehicle and it might be just that O towable objects don't have bounce code. So this scrap, oh, it's O explodable, which I think is related to O towable. Yeah. Okay, which would you eat every day? Bread, rice, or pasta? I usually have bread every day, so I'll vote bread. Pasta, I love pasta, but that might be a little much to have it every day. Okay, this where it gets tricky. For some reason, the enemy car goes under O towable and not just O vehicle. I might run into an inheritance problem again. But let's find out where the bounce code is, or the jump code. I believe it's only in the player and the car. Oh yeah, Oscar, yeah. Rice is another. That rice would be my second choice. Just peanut butter on toast is just too good. Maybe after not having peanut butter while growing up, because my brother, he can die from peanut butter, so we had almond butter. And I couldn't use that much because almond butter is a lot more than peanut butter. And yeah, maybe make it up for lost time on that one. Okay, well here's one from finding the boost pad. I think part of it, it might be easier to find on the player, despite being way more complicated. Oh, Oscar, no, so I'm from Canada, so that'll be in I think a couple weeks. So for BitSummit, so I landed in Tokyo, and then I took a bullet train the next morning to go to BitSummit. And right now I'm just in Tokyo, so I can't. BitSummit was Kyoto. Came back from bullet train. It only takes about 2.5 hours. Like there's almost more time. There's almost as much time just getting to the train to get to the bullet train station and then in the train and walk back here. I don't know what I'll do because like I always love going to nature and maybe hiking up a mountain, but if it's gonna be 35 degrees to 39 degrees, I don't know how enjoyable hiking up a mountain will be. Yeah, I'm from Canada. I'm from Vancouver, BC, on the Pacific coast. Oh yeah, I think I remember you saying that. So, is Niagara Falls as impressive as it sounds? Is my question because I've never been to Ontario. Labor Day. I wonder how busy. Labor Day is near the end of the summer. Maybe not quite as busy. Oh, that sounds like a nice time. I'm assuming you didn't go in a barrel over the waterfall. That's what you always hear about. Here we go. This is the key to bouncing, or one of the keys. Let's see. We'll double check. Yeah, it's basically when something bounces, it gives it a force upwards. Add this, make sure it goes downwards and bounces. That's fine. How many places this is in? Well, you traveled to Canada on a tour bus, so did you travel on a tour bus all the way to Canada, or did you take a plane to Canada then traveled around a tour bus? Because that sounds like a long tour ride if you had to go through the entire states. Tour bus though would be a lot more relaxing than driving around. It's just you're kind of stuck to their schedule. You can't be like, oh, I like this a bit longer, and you want to stay. Oh, I commented it out for old vehicle. Okay. Let me try. I want to try adding it to the Otobel step event. Hey, we've done an hour and my connection has held up for now. Hooray. Haven't done much though. I hope to be over this week having more time in it again, because obviously like doing a game review and going to a conference, pretty busy. I'll have to get back more into the swing of things for Carpoon. Okay, this is easy. I'll search. I'll just say, don't be the enemy car, and should be okay. Let me add. Add a little bit of jump code, and it should be okay. This I just left in to remind myself not to do it. Oh, no, that's not it. There we go. No, my cow. It's laptop buttons. I don't know if the buttons are just weird, but I find it tougher to copy and paste. It's kind of like that function button right beside it. Well, I'm tempted to just see that if that does anything. Oh. Been trying to go on a jog most days in the morning. I didn't jog today. Hopefully just be more energized again. But I was feeling pretty tired. I look forward to maybe playing some Dark Souls, or I started playing Balatro after BitSummit finally, because if they had said Balatro is like Big 2 right at the bat, I'd be like, I'm in. But it kind of gave the impression of being like poker, which I guess it is because Big 2 has poker hands. But I played Big 2 for like at least 2 decades, thanks to my dad learning it at his work. I guess he used to play with, I think some of them were Vietnamese that he worked with, and they brought along Big 2 to play during lunch break. And yeah, sort of starting to get the hang of Balatro. The game feel just with cards is really neat. It's pretty creative. It makes me think like, oh, should I make a card game? Well, obviously, I don't think I can think about it cards in that way. Oh, so we're missing some variables to make these work. We can add that into O vehicle, I bet. a. So missing the max fall speed, just to kind of a limiter. Let's see what we do normally for max fall speed. $32. Now this should, yeah, it inherits, so if I add that to a vehicle, maybe problem solved for everything. Although, yeah, that shouldn't be overkill, it's a vehicle. Laptop barely holding together. Yeah, it's not here. I will, let's add it up here. Oop. Okay, let's check any other variables that are needed. Maybe that one. But that's if it's player. Height, ground height, explode me. We'll just try it. I'll be back in a second. I don't have all the BRB screens on the laptop right now. I'll say it was getting set up again while being tired in the morning was not fun. But let's see if this one doesn't crash. Whoa, there we go. Having a default between these two different ones means sometimes I forget to change the level. But I do think it's worth it for demos to get people to play other levels. Well, in lava, so there might be a lot here. I'm just gonna add this to Otobel. Maybe that'll be a mistake, but we'll see. Where did my script go? Here we go. Probably fall acceleration, it's not there. Bounces. Nope, it's there. Okay. right away if there's a problem, because crashes immediately. Why would draw a surfboard? I'm getting the typical GameMaker coming in on itself and being hard to read anything. That might be the last one. Boost jump, maybe. No, that's there. It's always, I wonder what happened where it's slow harpooning it first time. Guess I haven't dealt with Carpoon performance for a while. Will you do anything? Well, you didn't crash. You probably need something where and I didn't break cars at least, right? That felt a little higher. Like a car, I'll have to check and make sure it's not going twice. Yeah, no more of that. How, so this thing has to bounce. How will it though? I don't know. We'll make sure it's yeah, it's got no vehicle. Let's make sure it's interacting with it. I'll change its color. Dragon Quest X online and offline is the only Dragon Quest main game that's still Japanese exclusive. Now, is that the 3DS one? Okay, this boost speed is more for going sideways, not going up. In auto works for when cars have to go across gaps. Okay, Nintendo Switch and 3DS. So Dragon Quest X Online is on Switch. I wonder, maybe they didn't think it'd be popular enough at the time. Why it was only in Japan. I think now they'd be okay to release it everywhere. Ozak, doing okay in Japan right now. I haven't gone to a game shop yet. I think I'm gonna go early. Like I'm probably gonna go on Tuesday next week. So Oscar has reminded me about one to look for the current sort of Zelda producer's first game. But I'm doing well and had a lot of fun at the BitSummit conference last weekend. How are you doing? I'll also say I finally get to deal with warmer weather. Let me see what it's currently 97 out. So it's gonna hit 100 today. So I finally get to deal with some of that warmer, humid weather. Oh, that's good, Clean. Yeah, it's nice to have some time to focus on that sort of thing. I probably don't do enough cleaning at times. Yeah, well, this is Tokyo right now, so you get. I think this is warmer than normal. There's like an excessive heat warning here, so like tomorrow it's supposed to be even hotter. So any day I've tried to go jogging like at 7 in the morning, and I'm along little rivers right now, so that's kind of cooling, or canals really. And yeah, but walking, I'd walk to the conference last week in Kyoto, and uh, yeah, basically be sweaty from there. Yeah, fortunately we have AC here. It's right there. I'm under it, and anywhere inside has AC basically. Like I tried sleeping the other night without AC. Uh, wasn't terrible with all the windows open, but during the during the day, like upstairs, I think one day I didn't open the windows and I had to go up there to get like something out of my suitcase, and I had like one of these freezes around my neck, and it's like this. It's like a video game basically with a timer because I'm only gonna last so long up there in the second floor where it's always hotter anyway on a hot day. So fortunately, I'm smarter and open the windows now. No, but nice over here. I saw a little bit of fireworks yesterday, although only a little bit because buildings blocked the way. And yeah, I'm surprised. Sort of, I can stream this on a portable Wi-Fi router. I get back into the habit of things. But now I just trying to finish up the update I did to the first level, which is getting there. But there's a couple things to program that I didn't think about when making this, like that darn fence. But no, we're glad to hear you're doing well. So now just trying to get more objects to bounce up and down in this level when dragged over jumps. Yeah, when I do walk to the game shop, I will hopefully find one game at least for Hayden. So that's my goal. But it'd probably be like just ordering online is cheaper. But I'll see. See if there's one in a box in good condition. Yeah, coding like magic. Hayden's good at it though, so that's one of us. Yeah, I find I remember learning coding at first, and the simplest things would be so hard, like loops, like a for loop. Probably started making more sense with if statements, but I think Java wasn't the best at the time to learn it. Flash is far more forgiving. Flash is far more forgiving, and yeah, I think drag and drop code can be easier to understand, or something like Python. This is like this GameMaker code is like Flash in that there's very few variable things to break, or not much with like having to have letters that are uppercase, lowercase. Yeah, right now I'm in the heart of Tokyo, so I think prices might be more, or there's more people that more more of those darn tourists that pick through the game stores. Last time when I was on the outskirts, it's like there were games there that sat in the book off kind of used game and bookstore for a long time. Like right now I'm and that's unfortunately like the busiest area for tourist game shopping. Okay, right now I just want to get a debug message going to see if anything, if it's even detecting the collision. Because at least sometimes it's doing a little bit of what I want in code, but not everything. At least I can see I'm on the right track. And I found debugging is very tricky in GameMaker. I don't like it because maybe I have too many variables. But having just having text appear near it works. What's the other one? Let's see what other variable it's trying to pass to it. Fall speed. Okay, we'll do fall speed. I'll say one nice thing this trip that I managed to avoid is that I arrived at sort of the indie game conference one day beforehand. And normally, like, I have to fall asleep early, or maybe there'll be jet lag in the afternoon. But thanks to walking around, trying different games, and maybe living off bottled black coffee, I didn't have any jet lag problems during the show. So that was nice. I think one day I was kind of a little bit tired trying to figure out a game, but nothing where it was like crashing and having to sleep right then, which I was worried about. Okay, let's see if this does anything. Today, while it is tempting to go outside and like maybe go to the Nintendo store or something, I'll probably take a break playing some games. Oh, so you don't know much about jet lag, never left the country yet Sunday. Well, I hope you do get to go somewhere sometime, but even like, um, I think in Florida, where did I go? Like, I went to Panama once. That was kind of neat, and that's kind of the same time zone, but I didn't go out of the country. Like, the first time I took a plane was when I was about 20 to go to Los Angeles for E3. That's the same time zone. And I don't think I went. I think when I went to Japan, that was probably like. It's probably my late 20s. So that. Going here, though, it's like a big time difference. It's easier going to Japan than coming back. Going to Japan, maybe it only takes like a day or two to get used to it. Maybe just be going to sleep a little bit earlier and waking up at 5 in the morning. But coming back, I find it much harder. And I'll be like sometimes waking up like in the middle of the night. Hi, so you're here to complain about your haircut. Goodbye. Okay. Hello, Rise. I don't. Nice. I guess it's nice to drop by. Thank you. Yeah, but definitely like jet lag coming back, you have to force yourself to stay up, or it's easy to get caught in that kind of up maybe 8 hours, sleep 4 hours, up another 8 hours, sleep 4 hours. was pretty sure I added OK to bounce, but let's see. Nope. Oh, yeah, and Oscar, you're forgetting about for video games that took place in Japan. There's also the Yakuza Like a Dragon series, and that was one I actually finally saw the arch maybe 2 or 3 trips ago. The red arch with tons of lights because it's maybe in not the best place, or you know how there's crime in that game. Well, I think it's kind of similar in real life, but yeah, it is neat seeing different video games and when they're inspired right here. And then sometimes it's like, well, that's just the same as your daily life. I'm not as impressed at your game anymore. The most jarring thing for me though is from Donkey Kong Country Jungle Beat. There was a tutorial and it's like bing bong. It does that. And that's the same sound from the train stations. So for the longest time taking a train in Japan, I just was reminded of Donkey Kong Jungle Beat. That being the first game by Nintendo Tokyo before they went on to make some Mario games. Well, thank you. Thanks, Zach, for dropping by. Appreciate it. Glad to hear you're doing well over there. I should be back a bit longer. I think I have a bit more. I think my internet hasn't been going out too much. I still have 6 GB left today of bandwidth. Okay, it's not crashing. Let's see. Oh, it got squished. So it has been the poor hot dog cart. Well, it's okay. Part of it's working. That's great. Let's see what happens to this one when I drag it. Yeah, it turned red. And that was another thing I was trying to do. Oh, the the cars got squished too. That's I was supposed to increase their scale, not decrease it. It's supposed to add to it. That's like a hilarious effect, really. uh, oh yeah, Oscar. The museum was something I was hoping would be open by now, but it's going to be later in the year. That and the new Donkey Kong Land. This is just hilarious with the squished cars. The flower box should do something too. It's gonna be harder to drag it here. Well, there's a funny testing code moment. Yeah, Super Nintendo World in Osaka. That's the one I want to go to because of course that one or the Florida one when it opens. The my friend Big Jeff, he went to the one in LA and it's kind of small, right? It has one less ride and it basically sounds exactly what I thought it was like. It's like the Harry Potter land, which I did in Osaka. And it's only, it's just like a street you go down. It's probably super busy because it's new. And then it's only like small, it's part of the park experience. It's not like You're not just going there for that one thing, even though that's kind of the idea. But I think when it has Donkey Kong Land, it's more worth it. Yeah, next year Super Nintendo World in Orlando, Florida. There can always be delays with things. You never know, but that would be the other best option. I wonder how that one would be compared to Osaka. It probably has more space to be bigger. I feel like this towable object, it's inheriting something. Maybe the height. No, the height's here. But that's if it's on fire. I feel like it needs a variable now where it does have height. I want to just do a quick check if the fall speed showed up. So I wasn't paying attention to that. And it's probably just like it's drawing the sprite right now without taking into account the height. Because the height's kind of dealt with separately. Being fake pseudo 3D. That A button squishing is still something that bugs me. I'll probably fix that later. It should be uniform or not squishing. Okay, here you go, hot dog cart. What are you gonna do? Okay, fall speed is changing. So I think that's it. I think I just didn't take into account height. Let's go into a car. Oh, I had it already. Where? It's like, where do I draw the actual car? I didn't make it easy for my future self. Here we go. So I probably have to do one of these where I draw the sprite and I have to subtract the height. So have I seen the Japanese version of Nintendo World Championships NES edition for Nintendo Switch? So I have not seen much of that yet. I haven't been to Yodobashi or anything like that yet in Japan, which is a giant electronics store. I've seen the packaging, I've seen images of it, but I haven't seen it in person, if that's what you mean. Like personally, I'm probably just gonna get the English version digitally. I don't even think getting the special edition would be possible at this point. And I also have not that much room for stuff, so. Okay, now the question is, can I draw a sprite no vehicle or in towable here, or do I have to go elsewhere? Yeah, special edition is different than the NES version. It's probably very popular though and sold out. That's my guess. Okay, I have to check the hot dog cart. See what I do in the draw event. Yeah, I just kind of inherit it, so it should be okay to draw. Now, how I pull the sprite, I don't know. I guess I'll find out. I might not even need all that. Let me. Yeah, I might be. I'll keep that there, but I might be able to use a simpler one. Sprite. Where's? I don't think that works. This is different. This is for the frame. I'm trying to keep this as simple as possible. No. Probably find that something changes in the scale at some point. Yeah, that's that copy and paste issue that's happening with the function button. Okay, that's. It always updates the manual. I never try to find it, or never upload it, update it. Yeah, so this isn't right. This is different. It's a way, like an object has a sprite. Here we go. This might not work. We'll see. No, it's not this itself. Is that gonna work? Don't complain. Yes. I can't see this working, but I have to try. Watch as the 10 things just don't exist anymore. The player select screen isn't broken, at least. This is something where I still have to push out the edges a little bit, as recommended by my friend. Oh, there we go. Problem. So yeah, that doesn't work. I'm gonna have to try. How to get a sprite of an object in GameMaker. Something I look for, because I'm Googling this right now, but the Google Doodles, after that great Tokyo minigame last time, slightly less ambitious this time. But I think they're doing daily animated ones. They're still extremely cute. So this is tricky here, trying to get the sprite. Okay. Maybe sprite index works? I don't think so. So let's. Maybe I'm wrong on that. Maybe that's the easy way to do it. Might as well try. So I haven't seen Pokemon stores or cafes yet. I've seen, like during the fireworks yesterday, they had a few of them that were Pokemon like. I didn't get to spend much time in Tokyo Station. I was also very tired. But there's a Kirby cafe in it that I know that I might try this time. There's also a Kirby cafe at Tokyo Skytree. So I might go there and try it. Like I just went outside it last time. So mostly, I probably am not as big into Pokemon. But Nintendo Store and a Kirby cafe is probably something I'll go to. Nintendo Store here, though, I missed the one in Kyoto because there wasn't time when I was there. And the Kyoto one would have been better to go to. The one here in Tokyo is not as good. Okay, so it's kind of drawing twice, and I do need on some of them for the image scale. I do need the more advanced function. And I'll have to cut out one of them where it's drawing in. But let's see. Yeah, let's see if it makes something happen here. Yeah, it goes up. That's a small step. Great. The hot dog cart can now jump up. I'll just have to avoid the duplicate draw code. Let's figure that out. Yeah, that radius needs to be a bit bigger. Let's see here. Oh no, is this one still not going up? Maybe it's not inheriting. At least one of them works. Oh no, it's doing a double draw. Because... Okay. Some progress. Yeah, so in Japan, lots of video game companies say goodbye. Vanpool, Skip Limited, and even Alpha Dream. What did Vanpool do again? And also, good to see we talked to the developers of KoRobo, the new spiritual successor to Chibi Robo, although they're trying to do a few different things. And I think it's Tiny Wonder Studio is the new studio some of the people who used to work there created. So that was a neat thing at BitSummit. Gonna get some more water back in a second. Okay, Vanpool did help Hal with Kirby games, and they did Dylan's Rolling Western, and some Tingle games. I didn't know what the Tingle games. I assumed they did Dylan, so it's good to know. But still too bad. Yeah, companies don't always last forever. So this is the draw event here, but we have to it's probably okay, it's not drawing here again. It might be drawing in the individual object. Let me check the hot dog cart, for instance. No, it's just inherited from there. It's probably this one. And if I can draw itself, maybe I have to put the code in there too. We'll see. We'll see if this works. Did Vanpool help with I'm trying to remember the name. The Kirby before Dreamland Deluxe. Kirby Switch. Kirby and the Forgotten Land. Sometimes I guess with some of these that HAL might just hire employees that leave from it, although it depends if they're located differently, how many people they might get. What? There's a image angle. Image angle is rotation. Try to keep these to as many defaults as possible. There, I'm guessing this fixes it. Let's see. Say a funny thing at BitSummit is always hearing if a game is actually cross-play and online, but so many Nintendo games are not online. So, okay, yeah, hopefully some of the staff are helped out when they closed. Where was that? Oh, I gotta just do image scale. Now, as funny as it is, I probably don't have to make the scale adjust in here. Can I find it? Oh, I put the plus in the wrong spot. It should have been before. That's why they were shrinking like that. Yeah, it was still worth it. It was funny. I might not go too long today to make sure I save some internet. I'll see. Feel like progress has improved a bit though. But after kind of a long week, I would like some time just to relax today. you everyone for dropping by, and especially you, Oscar. It's very nice of you. Oh, okay, it's drawing two again. The flower box was the one that's had the biggest problem last time. That's okay. There's still two though. You can see one of them is not moving up. There's still another sprite being drawn somewhere. But only maybe for the flower box and not the hot dog cart. So that'd be easy enough to check. Those surfboards, they were having a problem earlier. They're okay now. Yeah, so this though, yeah, we'll find out with that double. It only, no, it's jumping twice. See if I can extend the collision detection radius for those. Mostly to have it a bit lower. So an exploded one does have a draw event. Let's see if we don't need that. Sayonara, Oscar. Thank you so much for dropping by. Yeah, get a good night's sleep over there. New Jersey. I guess, yeah, no New Jersey Devils hockey right now. That's what I know New Jersey for the most. check out the draw code for this, but probably it was dealt with. Yep. Can I improve the collision detection box? Okay, how does instant place list work? It's a few different ones in GameMaker. Just checking by position. Is there instant place of maybe an area instead of that? Because that's only a little point. So if you do a collision rectangle list, that'd be handy. That's a main thing. I did this so, oh, you can do a collision rectangle list. This might work a little better. I can do this and then I can draw it. Precise. I don't think it has to be precise, but maybe it does. Range. So before, maybe we'll do like a range, X range and Y range. That way, the Y range can be a little less than the X range. I want to save this and then draw a rectangle so I know how big it actually is. I forget if there's a ellipse function for this instead of a rectangle, but we'll just do this. Oh, I don't know how this is even drawing right now. Let's see. It might be I just didn't set the collision detection area big enough for the scrap car that I've been trying to drag. So that is a little low. It would have to go up, and it's slightly too wide. Oh, it's pushing it. Look at that. That's hilarious. Why? Well, I'm glad I drew it to test, but it's there's like a it pushed the collision object. That's funny. I don't think I set anything for that. That might explain last time why he was having trouble. Can I do that with anything else? Let's see. That doesn't seem to be affecting it. Why the scrap car? Yeah, yeah, it's pushing it. That's hilarious. It's working better though. Woo! I think once that push is done, that's done, and I can work on adding some more graphics. I can deal with the fence in a simpler way that's easier to visualize. Just made me kind of tired and made it too complex. Hi, Zach. Thank you. Yeah, I had some progress, so it's nice. A little bit. The thing I wanted to jump now does move around again. Although it's pushing an object though that shouldn't, which is interesting. Yeah, basically, I think no, it's not here. So I'm gonna just find out why it's pushing an object that shouldn't move. And I'll turn off what I had to make turn red for testing because I don't need that anymore. Yeah, I was lucky that I was drawing the collision detection area, because otherwise I wouldn't have seen that. I want to just check. Sometimes GameMaker is funny. There's a little checkbox for physics, and sometimes it's not needed. Okay. This is just, I'm changing where it is because part of it is that the collision detection was too low at the start. I want to take one more look, see what's happening. Such a funny bug. By all accounts, it should be either doing this with every towable object or none at all, not just this one. Okay, that's closer to where I want it. Could be a little bit smaller. So let's see what happens when I drag this. Yeah, it's pushing the collision detection, but I don't know why it's not pushing the sprite too. And now if I go here, yeah, I jumped in the wrong spot. I wonder, there's some different physics variables. Maybe it's weight is just way heavier than other ones, like how slow it moves. I want to try the flower box one more time. It's like so close, but this little problem could take quite some time to fix. I also, maybe it's moving a physics point, but not the X and Y point in the game. That's something that might get around it. Although I think I am just using X and Y. Hot dog cart, let's see this. Yes, the hot dog cart is better. Well, let's just make that range a tiny bit smaller. A little, I don't know, 40, 20. Oh, I see. The animation doesn't move because that's a separate object. And it only happens at the beginning, so this is one of those but why moments. Oh, thank you. Have a great night too. It's baby's far more important, but thank you for dropping by. I appreciate it. Have a great Sunday tomorrow. No, it's so hard to keep track of. It's only from like years of getting used to it and news, and even still, I forget. Oh, thank you. Okay, so this is not any special physics object. It's not like an O solid. So that part, which I was kind of thinking shouldn't make sense. Do I need physics at all in this? I don't think so. That's so weird. What? It's like there's nothing there that they be connecting like that. I want to try it. Try it and see. Just turning off physics for the sewer manhole. Maybe that'll fix it. But then maybe it won't detect anything after and complain. Yeah, didn't like it. But, but that's kind of easy to change. You can just comment that out. Check if any other physics variables are in this. Not really. See if that helps. See how much. Gone through about half the data. So that's not bad to be able to go for 2 hours on about 5 GB of data. I do want to try to get a couple things set up after they're far more boring and see if I get those going. Some Carpoon marketing initiatives, like another TikTok again, or the fan art thing. Fan art Friday. Okay, so this, I don't need that -10, I think. Is it moving it? Yeah, it's not moving it. I feel like there's a sprite delay. I might have to move. It's only detecting it based off that order, so I think I can adjust when that's happening. It will not be like a frame delay. Well, that's great to actually get one thing done, especially after kind of feeling a little bit tired in the morning. And yeah, let's see if we move that frame when it happens a bit earlier and move it up, and maybe that'd be good for today. And remove the code, of course. I'm tempted to make the hot dog cart like shoot out hot dogs when it goes up in the air. That is a totally unnecessary feature, but this yellow one and this yellow should move a little bit to the side. Okay, let me check if this one works. That it feels a little light, but maybe I won't be too concerned about it. Like, yeah, I don't feel like that should go up as much. See, that through a manhole, then an unforeseen thing with another type of object not being affected by it. But this should... Does this fix the hot dog cart in the AutoWorks level? Oh, that'd be exciting if it does. I shouldn't be... Stupid hot dog cart's gonna have its own game one day, probably, but... I have to think of something funnier than a hot dog cart. I can't be Carpoon's legacy. Okay, I think this one I said delete me. Yeah, no, you can exist now. Maybe. I'll put that over to test. The conveyor belt might not work for it. Okay. I'll just try Y. Now we can comment out this debug code for jumping. And we'll move the frames back a little bit. I'll just copy it. We'll try 2 and 14. See if that feels a bit better. The easy fix if it is. Okay. First of all, let's see if this works with the hot dog cart. I'll level that off. Oh no! Some path stuff. Okay, alright. Probably is pretty close to working, but I'll leave it for now. Let's see if these objects jump a little bit better. Huh. Could probably still move up a tiny bit higher, but window. No, that's too early. Oh, right, and that's that. I still need to split the. I have to split the sprite to have Z depth on the ground there. That's an easy, boring one, though. I won't make people watch. So if it was 8, and that's still early, let's try 5 and 16. Slightly early. Let's see how it is with the drag in this car. Yeah, weird. Maybe I only had to move it 1 frame. Yeah, you can see pausing there how the splash is over the truck. That that might not be that might not be as easy, but I won't worry too much. Okay, well thanks everyone who dropped by, and you might see this in the future. This is just I want to try to get another Carpoon Devstream done after the week off last week being at a conference. And of course, Carpoon, you can try the demo on Steam or join the Carpoon Discord. Talk about your own game development if you want. And yeah, I hope you have a great weekend, everybody. I'm going to fix this up and do a few more boring things. Hopefully, have all the art in by next week. That's my goal. And be back to finishing the AutoWorks and maybe a couple of things that have been bugging me for a long time. But at the same time, just chipping away at it, and road to completion continues. Okay, it's gonna, of course, yeah, no, it went pretty well today, I think. But goodbye, everybody.